Good morning. Let's do sports now on the AM show. My name is Haruna Mubarak. Remember, the segment is brought to you by Litina Travel and Tours 2026 Global Football Festival. Litina Travels is taking Team Ghana to the biggest global football event on the planet, happening in America, Canada, and Mexico. Your Litina Travels package includes visa to watch all 3 group stage matches, 3 official match tickets, return charter flights, top-class hotel accommodation, travel insurance, and exclusive access to business networking events across all 3 host nations. Now call 0244-260-789 today or visit Litina at Alisa Hotel, Northridge, and secure your spot on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. To our first story, a major concern has been raised over the possible discouragement of fans at Ghana Premier League match centers. This comes 1 year after the death of Kotoko supporter Francis Nana Pooley, whose killers are yet to be prosecuted. Legal practitioner Samuel Battels spoke to my colleague Razak Musbao on how the lack of prosecution could negatively affect patronage of the league.
Well, this is one of those instances where the man whose picture you have on your screen, although the circumstances are sad, should become a poster boy for a sustained campaign to ensure safety in the stadium. The FA has done something, but I think they haven't done enough. Quite clearly, in the aftermath, they announced a new security approach. There was the appointment of the regional security coordinators to work with the police ahead of matches. There was the appointment of the club security coordinators. But also in the months afterwards, there were several cases that took place in the stadium. And I think the FA should have demonstrated more commitment to pursuing this case and keeping it on the front burner and keeping it on the national consciousness beyond just the justice process. I think Kotoko's gripe is primarily based on the fact that they feel the case is abandoned and the people who are in the position to probably push and apply some pressure to have the police accelerate this evidence collection, this forensic evidence that's taken 8 months, for instance, or the follow-ups and the other processes don't seem to have done that. And for somebody who's died and left a widow and heartbroken club, they will feel that more could have been done. And the signals that is sent are very confusing signals and a downright discouragement to people who would want to go to our various stadiums. And indeed, to our own effort to encourage people to go to various venues. We are struggling to get very safe venues, despite the minimal action that has been taken. You don't want the Pooley case to become the reference point for parents who tell their children, do not go to the stadium because remember, Pooley died and there was no justice and nobody was ever found culpable of his death. I won't go into the details as to what charges they want to bring against it and essentially what is happening. But it's quite obvious that this case has not progressed as much as it should. And my call to the entire football fraternity, it's time to start making some noise. I understand the FA has not even bothered to be checking with the police or with the Kumasi Asante Kotoko fraternity themselves to find out how things are going. So that is why perhaps the club will feel that they've been left to their own devices. And that's why perhaps they'll have very little confidence in the ability of the system to deliver justice for Pooley. And as I said, this becomes a signal to everybody else who is interested in football and who is interested in going to the stadiums to watch football.
Now, Nana Pooley's death marred last season's Ghana Premier League. In a different contest, Senegal nearly disrupted the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations after their players walked off the pitch for over 15 minutes to protest officiating decisions. However, CAF second Vice President Keto Kreku believes the continental showpiece was still a success and an improvement on the previous edition.
In Côte d'Ivoire, we had an amazing experience. The people, the Ivorians, were and have always been so passionate about football, and they showed it on the streets. At the end, commercial-wise, it was a massive success for CAF. We had a good champion in Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, the Elephants of Côte d'Ivoire. So Ivory Coast was a successful story for CAF, following what we had in Cameroon. But truth be told, what we've gone through, what we have seen in Morocco, is even much, much better than what we went through in Côte d'Ivoire. Morocco has been a massive success. abate the incidents of the final game. But in terms of infrastructure, stadium atmosphere, general facilities, patronage by fans, organization, I think that it's been a good journey. It's been a good story. Plus, we've seen some amazing football. Okay. I look back, I look at the 2 semi-final games, I look at the grand finale, top level football. Yeah. Senegal, top team, Morocco, top team. This is the kind of football we want to show to the world, to tell the world that the African football doesn't only exist in individual players they pick from Africa to go and play in Europe, but also African countries in ourselves are good football nations. And I think that we show that quality. Again, kudos to Senegal for being champions. Kudos to Morocco for being very, very competitive. People have read a lot of negativity into the behavior of Senegal. I tend it the other way.
The Saudi Pro League has been under the spotlight after Cristiano Ronaldo went on strike at Al Nassr over the club's transfer strategy. It is now understood that Ronaldo has returned to training with senior officials expecting him to end the standoff. Sky Sports has more.
Well, senior Saudi officials are now expecting Cristiano Ronaldo to end his strike and play on Friday against Al Ittihad. Now, this news has not officially been confirmed, but these officials are hoping that he is now going to end his strike. They feel that, look, he's made his point. Everyone around the football world is talking about it, but this game against Al Ittihad is too big for him to miss. And also, don't forget that he's contractually obliged to play unless he's injured, and we know for a fact that he's not injured at all. The reason I say this game is really important for Al Nassr is because if Al Hilal, who are the leaders, drop points in their game against Al Akdoud tomorrow, then Al Nassr could go top of the Saudi Pro League if they beat Al Ittihad on Friday. Saudi officials are also saying that they believe Cristiano Ronaldo is still in Riyadh, despite reports that he's flown home to Portugal because it's his birthday tomorrow. Having looked at Al Nassr's official X account, I have to say that there are lots of pictures of Ronaldo's teammates, also Ronaldo's manager, Jorge Jesus. But since Sunday, there have been absolutely no pictures of Cristiano Ronaldo at all. I sometimes get the sense, though, that all publicity is good publicity. So even though this is not a particularly good news story for Saudi football, it has got people talking about the Saudi Pro League. So maybe there's an element that we're all being played with a little bit, and pretty soon we are going to see some pictures of Cristiano Ronaldo on Al Nassr's official X account. And probably, well, Saudi officials are hoping, expecting that he'll play on Friday and they can put this behind them.